PC. Hey, how you all doing? We're back. A slightly new light-filled angle. Hope you're all doing really well. I'm just gonna crack open this beer. Here we are. Here we go, so satisfying. This is a Newtown Hazy Pale Ale out of Auckland, New Zealand. I haven't tried this before, so I'm quite excited. I wanted a refreshing, crisp beer because the sun's been out here this weekend. I have the day off work today. It's a Monday. The sun's out. I've been playing records all day. I've been feeling very inspired, so I thought I would jump on and do a pretty impromptu video. What's playing in the background is this absolutely terrible cover. This is a reissue. I did used to have the original, but it was really noisy and had lots of groove damage. So I've got a clean copy. This is a really wonderful record. It's very hard to describe what it is. Yeah, I guess electric guitar, oud, and Indian bass drum says a lot. Yeah, so that's what's playing in the background. I haven't heard this in a very long time. Yeah, I've been going through the collection again and thinking about things to sell. Mainly driven out of guilt of buying too many records and wanting to sell to sort of even the load a bit, I guess. But yeah, I have a stack of things here to show. I won't go into a huge amount of detail on them because a lot of these you'll know already. There's nothing obscure or strange or kind of hidden gems in here or anything like that. Lots of things that I probably should have had already. But yeah, these are all kind of world records or funk records and a few in between bits. All right, first up, this is perfect for playing on a day like today. This is Messi Kingsmen. What's that one called again? Doing Their Own Thing. Obviously this is called Doing Their Own Thing because this was the backing band for James Brown before they all walked out of the band. I think it was in 1970. This is their solo album. I think it's their only one. Absolutely killer funk. It's yeah, the top shelf stuff. Yeah, I've been after this for ages, and I found a cheap sort of unknown reissue from I think the 90s or the 80s, something like that. Yeah, super good. It sounds great. Absolutely great, tight, solid funk. Not much to say more on that. Yeah, top shelf. This is one that I had a copy of years ago. One that I got turned on to by Fred Big Star 1000. I had a copy that was really noisy, and if you know this record, it's a very peaceful and relaxing and has a beautiful vibe to it, and the noise kind of was very distracting. So I finally picked up I think this is a reissue of some kind, but this originally came out in 1973. It's basically a soul folk almost record, I would say, with bits of touches of funk in it. It's very relaxing. It sounds like you're on a tropical island in places, and it really does take you away to summery space. So yeah, this kind of has been what's been on the platter this afternoon as well, fitting in with the summery vibes. Yeah, what wonderful record. This is one that I have been surprised with. This is Defuse. Now this is a record that came out, I think it was 2015 on Sahel Sounds. So this band is kind of let's say it's a super group of musicians from Algeria, and this is basically, I guess you would call it modern Algerian music. It's the thing that put me off is when I picked this up, I thought it was going to be based on this cover, kind of more desert blues, kind of more traditional, I guess, but the production on this is almost like a modern rock recording, like really polished. The drum sound very 80s. The guitar has lots of reverb on it. The guitar sounds like Die Straits in parts, which is really strange, and it immediately put me off because it's not what I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I did some reading on this. and the musicians basically said, was sick of the Western world stealing out this sort of guitar, desert guitar sound. We kind of want to reverse that, and we're going to copy people like classic rock and Dire Straits and make something that is traditionally from here but sounds like those influences. And that kind of sold me a bit. If you know this or you listen to it online, you'll kind of get what I mean. They do mention Dire Straits as a big influence, which is really interesting. So yeah, I think I'm really sold on this. It's just very, very different, very interesting. It's basically a modern Algerian rock record, I guess. There's one track that is absolutely beautiful, and I've forgotten the name of it. I'll put a link, if I can remember to do that, to it below. But yeah, I think this is quite cool. I'm really happy with it. It took me a long while to get there and get behind some of the production. But yeah, and of course this cover here is basically a rip-off of a famous Algerian 70s record, and I've completely forgotten who it's by. But yeah, the artwork is fantastic. I mean, look at that. Yeah, 2015. I've been picking up a lot of more of this sort of worldy stuff on either Mississippi or Sahel Sounds, and lately I found a whole bunch, luckily, at a local record store and at a record van that just opened up here. So it's been kind of strange, actually. I just happened to find a lot of them, so yeah. I guess the easiest way to describe this is it's a Senegalese folk record here called Lewel. I can't see it when it's reversed in the camera. Lewel de Podo. Now this is basically exactly almost like what this cover is here. It's just these three guys here playing acoustic guitars almost by this river in this remote town called Podor, P-O-D-O-R, in Senegal, and it's absolutely beautiful. There's yeah, it's very intimate, it's very minimal recording. You know, you can hear kids wandering in the background, you can hear the sounds of nature. I didn't know it. I saw this in a record store and the cover really intrigued me. And yeah, I'm really into it. It's absolutely fantastic. This, yeah, is a picture of the dudes here. This is an actual printed photo here, which is super cool. Came with the release from Senegal. And yeah, this is the original photograph of the guys playing guitar. They're down by the river. This booklet has a really amazing description of how this town, Podor, is basically a crumbling town that, you know, was used to be full of colonial French mansions, and it's kind of falling apart, and everyone travels around the town along the river boats, and yeah, it really set the scene as I was listening to this, and it really blew me away. I imagine this is super cheap to grab. Yeah, I was really blown away by it. That's my family celery pot man that I've inherited, by the way. I just noticed he's in the frame. Yeah, strange, I know. I'll do a couple more of this sort of thing. I picked up two more on the same label. This is something that I've known about since it came out, and I just hadn't found a copy here. This is absolutely beautiful Algerian, I guess, traditional vocal work. There's just, yeah, three female vocals, and yeah, some beautiful guitars running through it, some really minimal percussion. It's almost very trance-like, or trance-inducing, I would say. Yeah, it almost sounds ethereal, and the music really floats across. This is absolutely beautiful. That's the artist there. Yeah, unfortunately this one has lots of pressing issues and some weird distortion all through it, which is quite common, which is a shame because this is a really beautiful album, and that cover artwork is yeah, really stunning. Yeah, this is definitely worth checking out. I think this was their first recording too, and I think a couple more have come out just recently. I think one came out this year, which is a live one. This one is a nice, good, easy party thing, I guess. This is cuts from the Ethiopia series that weren't released on vinyl, I think. They originally only came out on CD, but these pieces are kind of more, I guess you would say, R&B focused. So yeah, this is kind of, it's not going to blow you away. They're all really nice. Sort of good things to put on around the house while you're doing chores or something like that. yeah, it's super cool. It's definitely worth a listen. This is called Hasebe. Yeah, and it's just cuts from the Ethiopia series. I really like it. It's really nice, really fun. The only name I did know on here was Mahmoud Ahmed. But apart from that, a lot of this was new to me. But yeah, good, fun, cheap listen. Oh, it's the cowbell. Okay, hope you're hanging in there. What else have we got? We'll switch it up a bit, shall we? I finally picked up a copy of this wonderful record here. This is a 2001 reissue, Alice Clark, absolutely top shelf soul funk record. People say it's a one-tracker, but I didn't know what the one-tracker was, and I was really impressed by the whole thing. And I know when this got reissued in 2001, people went crazy for it. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I think people say it takes too long to learn to live alone is the big track, I think, but I really liked all of it. Never Did I Stop Loving You is really great as well. Yeah, this is on mainstream, and it's crazy to get an original, but yeah, just one of those ones that's been on my list for years, and I found a cheap reissue, so I grabbed it. Same with this, which actually, I also remember Fred telling me about Welding Irvine years and years ago, and he's never really gelled with me for some reason. And I've tried a couple of things here and there throughout the years. And then I found this, again, a cheap reissue. This is kind of an unknown BMG reissue, I think from the mid-90s. And I just grabbed it, and I'm really enjoying it. There's some really interesting parts going on. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's funky. There's a real sense of identity. I don't know how to describe it on this. It sounds like Welding Irvine. Yeah, really great. This is New Zealand's first rap piece of music, and that's no joke. This is an absolute classic piece of New Zealand music history. This is the Etu single by Upper Hutt Posse. Yeah, very, very unique to New Zealand. Upper Hutt is a region just out of Wellington too, so it's very local here. This is a, I guess you would call it a blend of hip hop and Te Reo Māori political piece. This came out around the time sort of Public Enemy were really big, and they sort of said they were really influenced by Public Enemy and James Brown. And the track in particular, which is kind of now a bit of a New Zealand classic because it does incorporate Te Reo and hip hop, or rap I would say, was really inspired by the James Brown song, Is It Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, which is sort of a riff off that, but speaking from a Maori perspective. So yeah, this is super cool. I've been after a copy of this for ages. Look at that. Yeah, really great. Stoked to find that locally. Okay, let's mix it up a bit. This is the 2021 pressing of Bad Brains. I've been after this for ages, but I don't want to get the bootlegs that were flying around. This has just been reissued a few months ago, and it's finally been done by Bad Brains themselves. You know what I mean. It's the first official reissue. It sounds fantastic. This is an absolutely classic record. I don't need to speak on this. It's 2021. We know this record. Yeah, super happy to have that. This like blew my mind. I remember exactly where I was when I first heard it. I was walking in the rain in Melbourne down Nicholson Street, and it was in the rain. It was like 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. I was like, I don't know how to process what that was. It really blew my mind at the time. All right. To be honest, I haven't listened to this one too much yet. I haven't been in the mood for it, but I picked up the reissue of this, Braid Ticket Psychonaut. I think this is a bit more composed and classic krautrocky. Cotton Wool Hill is almost a bit too far out there. It's almost a little bit gimmicky. Maybe that's not really true, but this one definitely feels like they've settled down a bit and try to find a sound and a groove. And it's really interesting, but I need to give it more time. 3 left. A friend was selling his copy of this record here, Kate Bush, 50 Words for Snow. Probably my only Christmas album. This is getting cleaned in the ultrasonic at the moment, so there's no record inside. But yeah, this is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful record. I love this. It really transports me away. It's really magical. It sounds like being in the middle of a snowstorm. Yeah, I love this record. I'm really happy to get it. It has been reissued very recently, I think remastered as well, but this is the 2011 press. 50 Words for Snow by Kate Bush, featuring a spoken word piece by Stephen Fry, I think. All right, this is killer. I'm really happy to get this. I think I learned about this probably years ago from John Sixing's pianist. I'm pretty sure talked about this many years ago, or maybe it was Steve, Psych in the Valleys. I can't remember. Someone talked about this, and the cover immediately grabbed my attention. So yeah, this is really wonderful. Roots reggae, Freddie McGregor. Yeah, this was going down a treat this morning when I had my coffee. Yeah, really happy to finally get a copy. This is a Jamaican press. It's fucked, to put it bluntly. Excuse the pun, that was great, to put it bluntly. But yeah, it's I'm happy to have it. It's really great. That's kind of the deal with these Jamaican pressings, hey? Great. The last one is something, again, that I should have picked up years ago. Yeah, Say No More. Absolutely wonderful soundtrack. I stupidly late last night played this at the wrong speed and didn't even notice. I was falling asleep though. Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, funky, groovy, big orchestral sounds. This is a superior viaduct reissue, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. Yeah, there we go. So that brings me to the end. I have pins and needles in my knees because I'm sitting down here on the floor, so I better go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me talk. I'm gonna go enjoy my beer and the sun. Happy Halloween.